Hello friends, and welcome to another episode of Making Poor Decisions, where today I'm going to be bottling Helgen 2.0, my gin/juniper berry mead, and I'm also going to be taste testing it up against the original. Alrighty, as I mentioned, today is the day that I am bottling my Helgen 2.0, and I would have loved to have been able to test the ABV because last video, if you remember, my hydrometer was broken. And today, when I went to go pour it out, when I say pour it out, I mean pour this into here, I broke my backup. So again, can't test it, but maybe in a few days when my backup comes in, I'll be able to test the ABV real quick and give you guys a quick update on my Instagram. But for right now, what I'm going to be doing is testing my Helgen 2.0 to my Helgen 1.0. Now, last year I made this Helgen. I started it in July, and it came out to be somewhere around 15% ABV. Now, the big differences between Helgen 1.0 and Helgen 2.0 is that I used primarily and only almond honey, and I aged this on burnt birch wood for about 2 weeks. In this, I used 1 part sourwood honey and 1 part butterbean honey, and I aged it on burnt birch wood for about 6 weeks. So right off the bat, you can tell that there's a pretty significant color difference. Now, this mead is 6 months older than this mead, so it has age going for it. In terms of smell, on the nose, Helgen 1.0 is very juniper berry forward. Little bit of honey after that. And Helgen 2.0, I'm getting a lot of vanilla notes, probably because, again, I aged it for a little bit longer on the wood, but also juniper and honey. And obviously, like I mentioned before, the color difference, well, the clarity is pretty similar. The color difference is pretty significant, whereas this is a little bit more amber. Helgen 1.0 is amber, and Helgen 2.0 is a little bit of a lighter color. So let's give her a taste. Just as I remembered her, Helgen 1.0, very juniper berry forward. Honey comes up afterwards. I don't taste like the cinnamon or the ginger or the coriander that I put in there, but it is very much reminiscent of gin, and it is still my favorite. But let's see what you have to offer. Oh, very different, very similar, but also very different. So here, the honey comes up first, and then vanilla, and then juniper berry. I would also say, even though this is very much younger than this mead, I think Helgen 2.0 is a little bit smoother. I don't know if that means it's a lower ABV or what, but I think I might have a new favorite. Again, still taste the juniper berry, but there's definitely more honey notes in this, more vanilla notes that I was not expecting, and it's a little bit smoother. So I'm very excited to see what she's going to taste like in another 6 to 12 months. But in terms of this recipe, I again used almond honey in this one, butterbean and sourwood in this one. They're still really great. They're still sisters. They get along quite well, and mommy is very proud. So now let's go ahead and bottle them up, shall we? So let's get this wrapped from the primary container into this pitcher. Again, is this step absolutely necessary? No. But I like doing this. Number one, because I can avoid whatever little bit of lees is here at the bottom. And it will tell me exactly how many fluid ounces I have in. I prepped one 32-ounce bottle and 4 16-ounce bottles. because that's usually about how much I get from a 1 gallon batch that I didn't add a lot of fruit to or anything like that. Again, remember, if you're making mead and you're adding fruit to it, if you're starting with a gallon, you're probably going to get somewhere around 3/4 to a half of a gallon, depending on how much fruit you put in. But I really didn't put anything in here other than the wood sticks here. So let's give this just a few moments. Let it fill up. I'm going to say probably 110 fluid ounces, but let's be right back with a number. All right, so I got a little bit less than I originally thought I would. I started with about 102 fluid ounces, which I thought I'd have 110, so it's not a big deal. So now it's perfectly fine because I have more than enough to fill this 32 ounce container and these 4 16-ounce containers, was still probably having a little bit left over for myself to enjoy. Oh no. So let me go ahead and get these bottled up and I'll be right back. And that's all she wrote. So as I expected, I had plenty for one 32-ounce container and 4 16-ounce bottles. Plenty to last me for a little bit. Now again, this is my Helgen 1.0 versus my Helgen 2.0. Which one did I like a little bit better? Honestly, I think it's 2.0. I'm not too sure what it is. Maybe it's the mixture of honeys, or maybe it's the fact that I left out the raisins in this batch. Now, when I first started making mead, I was putting in raisins for everything as nutrient. I kind of learned a little bit as I went along and I started using fermento as my nutrient. So maybe that was it, or maybe it was the fact that I aged it on the scorched birchwood for a little bit longer. Now, I do want to point out that is burning the wood necessary? Maybe not, because I didn't really get this smoky flavor from the wood. Between us girls, I just wanted to set something on fire. And I accomplished that. And I also made a really tasty mead. But thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you like the style of content, please consider a subscribe. I do try to post at least once a week, usually on Sundays or Mondays. And if you have any requests, anything that you would like to see, any style of mead or maybe a flavor, go ahead and leave it in the comments. I'm open to any of your suggestions. But again, thank you so much for watching this video. Have a great day and happy brewing.